the form of social media, its scales are so weird. So a private, casual, passing thought that we put down has the heft of like one of the 10 Commandments, right? So if enough people, share it around, so everyone is getting this sense of, how dare you say that, as though it was this, it's an edict, it's policy. And that is, I think, the trouble. It's a question of scale, and we're not quite. We haven't quite got the responses. I think that scale has been tilted so quickly that we haven't got the responses to understand what people meant and in context. And in some cases, there is willful blindness. So this is sort of a bully's excitement to leap on someone, in the schoolyard where you might say something that is obviously means something else, but if you wrote it down, it could mean this thing. The bully will sense that angle. And there is that. And John Ronson writes about that brilliantly. And So You've Been Publicly Shamed, that sort of the titillation of excoriating people for language. And again, that isn't to say that I think one of the great benefits of social media is that people are becoming more aware of the hidden assumptions in their everyday speech, which is alienating to some people and is disenfranchising. So that's great. All of that stuff should happen. But yeah, the mobbishness is somewhat unnecessary at times.
It's amazing to discover that. It's amazing to discover how language is freighted with assumption. Oh, the Middle East, depending on where you're standing. I'm fascinated when God, yeah, I understand now how they and we and who gets to be they and who's we. And this is, as you say, it's exciting to investigate our idioms and what's concealed or revealed within them. But I too know that there are certain impulses within me where I sort of think, brilliant, someone said something and now I can do that thing.
Yeah, totally. There's a mechanism.
I can legitimately unleash. Yeah. I'm furious with the world and brilliant. Now I get a chance to express that. But what you say in your book about the increased textualization, and how, perhaps, does that connect to what you were just saying there about something you just sort of casually say now, if it's repeated enough, can have the sort of weight of a commandment? Yeah,
for sure. I think now we're forced to be, I teach literature, as I said. And
where?
At New York University in London, and also another university called University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill in London.
Hold on a minute. Why are all these?
They're all in London. I teach American students in London. So they're all about the place, and there's little satellite campuses.
How's that happened?
They love coming abroad to London and studying.
Right, and that's what you teach them. So, sorry, and then talking about the textualization and the commandments.
Yeah, so I think that this younger generation are naturally literary critics, by which I mean they understand the world as a text, and life as a text to be read and critiqued, because so much of their lives are text-based. So they understand, not just the written language, but the semiotics of things. They understand they're having to factor in or read into their own relationships all the time. I often think that this generation younger than me has sort of like a set of codes and language that's like from a Jane Austen novel, like the sort of the play of glances and who's coming out at which ball and who dances with whom. That is all being transposed into the language of young people's interaction online, and they have to be very wary of the codes and how they look at each other's, how much you look at a stranger's profile, or if you've just met them, do you befriend them within 3 days? So everything is becoming a text in a way that has to be read and absorbed.
That's fantastic, because I suppose, require new civilization, new protocols required. And I'd never thought of manners like that. Manners, as a society becomes increasingly civilized, the rules need to be described and enforced and imposed so that we know what they are. And this is a kind of new civilization with new protocols. And it was interesting, isn't it? Because you remember when people used to be, oh no, I don't think that text means this and that text, but emojis emerged to provide a kind of ding. So now it all seems, when I thought, I didn't used to use exclamation marks because I thought they were too pat and awful. A piece of now, like, it's hearts and rainbows and all sorts of stuff all over. And I'm a man in my 40s, for God's sake.
Do you remember when it went from one kiss to two kisses? Right. There was a moment around 2013, I think it went, where one kiss was very generous, and then all of a sudden, if I gave one kiss in a text, it would be
This
like,
kiss isn't capitalized.
Yeah.
What the hell are you offering me there?
I know, it's this kick in the teeth. So I wonder if in like 20 years it'll just be like this barbed wire string of X's is what's required, just running along the page. Otherwise, it'll seem really cold when you send emails. Are you an Xer at the end?
Yeah, always, and have been from the beginning. And like even in sort of communication between heterosexual males, and like if they like, and I'm like, no, it's all right, kiss, it's okay, it's safe here. It's not an actual kiss, you're all right. And then some people will never do it. Like, no way.
Yeah,
it's taboo.
Do you keep pressing on even if you're getting the cold ending?
Sometimes, Laurence, it depends how confident I am in that relationship. I like to think, no, I'm pressing on because my kiss was never meant to be never like smooching right up to him. But sometimes I do feel a bit chastised if I don't get the kiss back. I think, well, I'm not doing any more of those kisses. I've been caught out there with the wandering ex, as if it was an unwelcome hand on the knee.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're scanning the new etiquette, the landscape of all these sort of minutiae, which the generation below, as I say, are really attuned to all of that.